Your direct deposit can be late even when everything looks normal. That delay can trigger overdrafts, missed rent, or a scary scramble at the pharmacy. This hits retirees, seniors on fixed income, and families helping a loved one. Today you'll learn why it happens, what the new rule really means for you, and how to protect every dollar. So stay to the end for the one small detail most people miss. If you want calm, protective guidance like this, make sure you're subscribed. I focus on keeping your money safer and your stress lower. And I'll keep reminding you about the scams that show up the minute money gets delayed. Subscribe now, so the next time a change hits, you hear it early and you're ready. Let's take a breath, because a delayed deposit does not automatically mean your money is gone. Most delays are paperwork, timing, or computer-to-computer processing, and they get fixed. The danger is what happens in your account while you wait, because bills and scammers do not wait. My job in this video is to help you stay steady, ask the right questions, and avoid the moves that turn a small delay into a big problem. And yes, there is one small detail most people miss that can explain a missing deposit in seconds, and I'll bring it back a few times until it clicks. When people say direct deposit, they imagine money flying straight into your account like a text message. In real life, it moves through a system with schedules, cut-off times, and safety checks. That's true for paychecks, pensions, retirement withdrawals, and many benefit payments. Even when the sender hits submit, your bank still has to receive it, verify it, and post it to your balance. If any step lands on the wrong day or after the wrong cutoff, your today can quietly become tomorrow. And that tiny shift is the detail many people overlook. Here's the basic path, and I'm going to keep it clear and slow. The payer, like an employer, a retirement plan, or a benefits office, prepares an electronic payment file and sends it through the banking system. That file travels through secure networks banks use for deposits, and then it arrives at your bank. Your bank matches your name and account number, runs routine fraud screening, and then posts the deposit to your available balance at a certain time of day. At any point, a mismatch, a system delay, or a posting schedule can slow the last step, even if the money is already on the way. Now, about the new rule people are talking about. Sometimes that phrase means an actual policy change at a payer, like a new verification step after fraud problems, or a new requirement when you update banking information. Sometimes it means your bank changed how they process deposits, like tightening security filters or adjusting posting times. And sometimes it's not one official rule at all, but a wave of changes across many banks to stop account takeovers and fake deposits. The result is the same for you. More deposits that arrive but do not post right away, and that's why the tiny timing detail most people miss matters so much. One more important point before we go deeper. A delay is the perfect moment for a scammer to strike, because fear makes good people move fast. If anyone calls, texts, or emails saying they can release your deposit, never share one-time codes, never read back verification numbers, and never trust caller ID, hang up and call back using a number you already have from your official bank paperwork or your card, not a number they give you. The safest money move is often the slow move, and in a delay, slow beats sorry. Are you depending on a deposit that has to arrive on a specific day to cover rent or medicine? Do you know exactly which bills will try to pull money if that deposit posts one day late? And if your deposit is delayed today, do you already know the safest way to contact your bank without trusting any incoming call? Let's talk about the most common, normal reasons a direct deposit shows up late. Weekends are a big one, because many parts of the deposit system don't run the same way on Saturdays and Sundays. Holidays are another, including bank holidays you may not personally celebrate, but banks still observe. And then there are cut-off times, which are the hidden, door closes at this hour rule most people never see. If the payer sends the file late in the day, or if it arrives at your bank after their internal cutoff, it may not post until the next business day, even if the deposit is dated for today. There are also bank-side reasons that feel personal but usually aren't. If your account is new, recently changed, recently unfrozen, or recently had unusual activity, your bank's safety systems may ask for extra verification behind the scenes. If your name on the deposit file doesn't match the name on your account closely enough, it can slow matching. If a payer recently changed their payroll or payment vendor, files can be processed in a different batch schedule than before. And sometimes it's simply a technical outage or maintenance window, where everything is fine, but the posting time moves later than usual. Let me give you a real-life example with easy math, because this is where stress turns into fees. Say your pension deposit is usually $2,400, and it normally shows up early Friday morning. You have rent set to pull $1,500 on Friday, And you also have an automatic insurance draft for $220 on Friday. If the deposit posts Friday night instead of Friday morning, your balance might drop below zero for hours, even though the money is coming. That can trigger overdraft fees or returned payment fees, and suddenly a one-day delay costs you real money. So what do you do with that example? You protect the timing, not just the total amount. If rent is $1,500 and insurance is $220, that's $1,720 that can hit before you wake up. If you keep even a $200 cushion, that still doesn't cover it, so you adjust the pool dates or keep a larger buffer if you can. And if you can't keep a buffer right now, you plan the bills so they pull after the deposit, not on the same morning as the deposit. This is one of the simplest ways to stop a delay from turning into a penalty. Now for a myth versus truth moment, because this trips up a lot of families. Myth. If the payer says the deposit was sent, your bank must have it and is holding it on purpose. Truth. There can be hours and sometimes a full business day between sent and posted, depending on batch timing, verification, and cutoff rules. Myth. Direct deposit always posts at midnight. Truth. Posting times vary widely, and some banks post at multiple times during the day, while others post once, and that can change without much notice. Let's move into common mistakes, and I want you to hear this with kindness, because these are easy to make. One common mistake is spending early pay money like it's fully settled cash. Some banks show deposits early as a courtesy, and it feels like the money is yours because it shows up. But if anything changes in the processing, that early display can vanish or shift, and you don't want to be caught with purchases, transfers, or cash withdrawals that you can't cover. The safe move is to treat early pay as a preview and spend it only after your bank shows it as posted and available. Another common mistake is scheduling automatic payments for the same day you expect the deposit, especially early in the morning. Many billers pull money at odd hours, and they don't care that your deposit usually arrives at 6 a.m. Your deposit and your bill are on two different clocks, and the bill can hit first. Even if you never had a problem before, a posting schedule change can suddenly create one. If you can, move drafts a few days after deposit day, because that one change can remove most of the risk of a one-day delay. Another common mistake is trusting the first person who contacts you about the delay. Scammers love a story that starts with, "We noticed your deposit is pending," because it sounds helpful and urgent. They will ask you to verify your identity, read a code back, or click something, and they may even use your bank's name and a believable tone. Never do it. You call them, not the other way around, and you call using a number you already have from your statements, your card, or official bank documents, not a number from a message. Are you checking your balance at the same time every day and assuming the bank's timing never changes? If your deposit is one day late, would any automatic bill hit first and create a fee before you even see the deposit? Do you have one trusted family member or friend who could sit with you and help you verify calls and messages during a money delay? Another common mistake is updating your direct deposit information in one place and forgetting the other places that also send money. You might update your bank information for one payment, but a second payment is still pointed to an old account. Or you might close an account too soon, thinking everything has been switched, and then a deposit gets rejected or bounced back. It's safer to keep the old account open until you see at least one successful deposit in the new account, and then confirm the next one as well if you can. A single missed update can look like a delay when it's really a wrong destination. Another common mistake is not keeping a small written money map during retirement, especially when multiple payments arrive. If you have a pension, a retirement withdrawal, and maybe a part-time paycheck, each one can have different posting patterns. When one is late, it's easy to confuse which deposit is missing and which one already posted, especially if descriptions in the account look similar. A simple note on paper or a calendar can help you spot what's actually late and what's simply scheduled later, and this connects to that small detail most people miss, because your calendar needs to match the bank's real posting pattern, not the date you wish it posted. Now let's do an "if this is you" moment, because different households need different protections. If you are living on a fixed income where every dollar has a job, a one-day delay can feel like the floor drops out from under you. Your best protection is not a fancy trick, it's building a small timing cushion and moving bill drafts away from deposit morning. That might mean calling a few billers and asking for a new due date, or switching from automatic draft to paying manually after the deposit posts. It's not fun, but it's powerful, because it puts you back in control of timing. If you are an adult child helping a parent, your biggest risk is getting pulled into urgency. A parent calls, scared, and you rush to fix it, and that's when scams and mistakes slip in. Your protection is a calm checklist you follow every time. Verify the deposit schedule. Verify the last 4 digits of the receiving account. Verify whether the payer says it was sent, and verify by calling the bank using an official number. You also want permission set up ahead of time, so you can speak to the bank if needed without guessing or arguing during a stressful moment. Planning beats panic, every time. If you are newly retired or recently widowed, there's a special kind of vulnerability that doesn't get talked about enough. Your income may have changed, your account titles may have changed, and you may be doing tasks your spouse used to do, all while you're still grieving or adjusting. That's when a deposit delay can feel like a threat, not just an inconvenience. Your protection is to slow down, write down what you know, and get one trusted person to double-check changes before you submit new banking info anywhere. And anytime someone pressures you to act fast, you treat that pressure as a warning sign. Let's talk about what you can do today without waiting for a problem. Start by looking at your automatic payments and writing down which ones pull money within 2 days of your deposit day. If you can shift even 1 or 2 drafts to later in the week, you reduce the chance of fees. Next, consider keeping a small buffer, even if it's only a little at first, because buffers are built over time, not overnight. Also, set a personal rule that you do not move money out of the account on deposit day until you see the deposit as posted and available, not just pending or expected. Now add scam protection, because this is part of protecting your deposit. Make sure you know how to reach your bank using a phone number you already trust, and store it where you can find it without searching online in a panic. If you get a call about your deposit, you hang up and call back, even if they sound kind, even if they know your name, even if the caller ID looks right. You never share a code, you never confirm full account numbers, and you never let anyone walk you through a transfer to protect your money. Real support will let you slow down, and scammers will try to speed you up. Here's the payoff for the small detail most people miss, and I want you to hear it clearly. There's often a difference between the date a deposit is labeled with and the time your bank actually posts it to your available balance. A payer might process a deposit as for today, but if the file reaches your bank after their cutoff time, your bank may post it later that day or the next business day. That's why 2 people with the same payer can see different posting times at different banks, and why your own bank's timing can change after system updates. When you track your deposit schedule, track the posting time pattern you actually see, because that pattern is what protects your bills. Do you know your bank's usual posting window for deposits, like morning, afternoon, or evening? If you had to prove a deposit was late, do you have a habit of saving your monthly account notes so you can compare patterns? Would moving your bill drafts just 2 or 3 days later remove most of the stress from a direct deposit delay? Let's do one more real-life example with easy numbers, and this one is very common. Say your benefit deposit is $1,800 and you expect it on Wednesday. Your utilities are set to draft $180 on Wednesday, your phone drafts $95 on Wednesday, and a subscription you forgot about drafts $15 on Wednesday. That's $180 plus $95 plus $15, which is $290, and that can come out before your deposit posts. If your balance was only $50 Tuesday night, you can see how a simple timing delay creates fees and a cascade of declined payments. The protection is to move those drafts to Friday or to pay them manually Thursday after the deposit posts, so the deposit doesn't have to win a race against your bills. Let's recap everything in clear, steady terms. A direct deposit can be delayed by weekends, holidays, cut-off times, verification checks, account mismatches, or technical slowdowns, and that does not automatically mean your money is lost. The real risk is what happens in your account while you wait, especially automatic drafts, transfers, and cash withdrawals. Your strongest protection is controlling timing. Keep a cushion if you can. Move bill drafts away from deposit morning, and treat early deposit displays as a preview until funds are posted and available. And during any delay, you protect yourself from scams by refusing codes, ignoring caller ID, and calling back using official numbers you already trust. Here's my final warning, and I'm saying it to protect you. The day your deposit is delayed is the day you are most likely to get a fake, helpful call that tries to steal your account. But here's the hopeful line, because you do have control. When you control your bill timing and you slow down your decisions, a delay becomes an inconvenience instead of an emergency. If you want, tell me this one thing so I can help you think it through calmly. What kind of deposit is delayed for you, and which bill worries you the most if it posts 1 day late?